Okay, back in 2004, movies usually had to pick a lane. Action or comedy, heart or spectacle. But then, one film came along and just decided, nah, let's do it all. And that film, of course, was Stephen Chow's Kung Fu Hustle. So, let's dive into what makes this masterpiece of pure, beautiful chaos tick.
I mean, when you first watch it, it just feels like total glorious madness. You've got these flying fists, exploding buildings, knife-throwing landlords, and landladies moving faster than a speeding bullet. And yeah, you even have assassins who take people out with sound waves from a musical instrument, a guzzing of all things. It's all completely absurd, right? So how in the world does a movie take all of that pure, unadulterated chaos and turn it into a cinematic legend? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down. All right, first up, comedy meets kung fu. This is really the first piece of the puzzle, how it perfectly blends two things that on paper just shouldn't work together. So the film is basically living in two different worlds at the exact same time. You've got this pure, over-the-top slapstick comedy. I'm talking full-on Looney Tunes logic, where characters get squashed flat and then just pop right back up. But then, the moment a real fight kicks off, everything changes. The choreography becomes absolutely breathtaking. It's so crisp, so flawless. It's this incredible balancing act where every single punch is somehow both hilarious and incredibly powerful. And you know what? This mashup is no accident. It's totally intentional. Stephen Chow, the director and star, was a huge fan of two things: classic kung fu cinema and the old silent era comedians like Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton. So Kung Fu Hustle isn't making fun of the genre at all. It's a massive love letter. It celebrates kung fu by cranking it up to 11, turning it into this larger-than-life legend. Okay, next up, a living comic book. Because that blend of comedy and action helps build a world that is just completely unforgettable. Think about it. The world of this movie is basically a martial arts fairy tale. It's not supposed to be real 1940s China. You have the Axe Gang, these top hat-wearing, dance-obsessed villains who are all about fear and greed. And who do they go up against? The residents of Pigsty Alley, a place that looks like a total dump, but is secretly hiding these masters with almost godlike power. It's this perfect symbolic setup. And the characters? Oh man, they're just as epic. You've got the landlady with her hair curlers and a scream that can shatter glass. The quiet, unassuming landlord who is anything but. And then you have the Beast, who is pretty much the definition of pure, unadulterated evil. See, these aren't meant to be realistic people. They're archetypes, they're legends. And that's what makes the film feel so timeless. So we've got the comedy, we've got the action, but what really makes it all stick is the story's hidden heart, because underneath all that cartoon physics and craziness, there's a surprisingly emotional story. Let's talk about our hero, Sing. When we meet him, he's a nobody, a total wannabe gangster. He acts tough and wants to be feared, but it's all an act. Deep down, he's just this broken kid who got hurt really badly and decided the only way to survive was to be one of the bad guys. He's not evil, not really, he's just lost. And his transformation is just incredible. He starts out as this pathetic wannabe gangster, but then we get that flashback, the one with the lollipop. He tried to be a hero as a kid, failed miserably, and a little girl showed him kindness anyway. That moment is everything. It's the key to his entire soul. So when he finally becomes this reborn hero, it's not just about getting super strong. It's about him finally remembering that kid he used to be. And that really gets to the core message of the whole film, doesn't it? People aren't just born cruel, they're shaped by their pain. Sing's entire journey is about finding his way back to his true self. He literally has to be beaten to within an inch of his life, broken down completely, so he can be reborn and finally heal. All right, let's talk about how this movie is also one giant, awesome tribute to cinema itself. I mean, just look at this list. It's got everything a kung fu fan could ever want. You've got the old school masters hiding in plain sight. You've got the crazy training myths, chi energy, legends who can take guys out with one punch. And of course, that classic idea that the quiet, humble warrior is always the most powerful one. Kung Fu Hustle takes all the stuff we love about the genre and just reinvents it with so much creativity and heart. So, let's put it all together. Why, after all these years, is this movie still a legend?
Think about how many movies from the mid-2000s feel kind of dated now, right? They relied on trends that have come and gone. But Kung Fu Hustle, it feels like it could have come out yesterday. And that's because it doesn't rely on trends. It relies on pure, wild imagination. It's funny, it's beautiful, it's epic, and it's actually meaningful. How many movies can honestly check all of those boxes?
Because when you boil it all down, this isn't just a movie about fighting. At its core, it's about hope. It's about redemption. It's about the idea that greatness can be found in the most rundown, forgotten places and in the most unlikely people.
And maybe most importantly, it reminds us that in a world that can seem really dark and full of bullies, the strongest weapons we have are kindness, courage, and just believing in who you're meant to be. And that's why, when all is said and done, you can't just call it a great movie. It's more than that. Kung Fu Hustle is and always will be a legend.